Imagine one day waking up and TikTok is gone. Your business thrives on TikTok. What are you gonna do? Well, hey everybody, it's Barbie Jane, and unfortunately, we are now at that time when TikTok is banned. Ah! Well, the purpose of this video is I want you to realize that even with TikTok being banned and your business normally thriving in that platform, I want to remind you that it's okay. Because there are a couple of reasons why this is going to really help you. Just be better, make your business better, and we'll see how that's going to help you thrive. Hey everybody, it's Barbie Jane, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some action tips as to what you're going to do to try to continue to grow your business. We're going to talk about some statistics, but more importantly, I'm going to give you some motivation to help you continue to try to find ways to get your business going and continue to grow. Now, I know TikTok has over 1 billion active users. And on top of that, there's about 45% of the businesses that actually really uses TikTok on their platform to help grow their business. And more importantly, there's about 66% of TikTok users who discover new businesses through that platform. Now that's huge. That's a big chunk of our business, and that's where we put a lot of effort into it. But what we didn't realize as we were using that platform to grow our businesses is that that created such a big concentration risk. And when I say concentration risk, that means we put all our efforts and all our money and our everything, better yet, into promoting our business into TikTok, just one platform, and not really expanding on all the different platforms that we have. And so just like where we are today, because we had that concentration on one platform, that put us in a big risk where now that that platform is gone, we're in a scramble of, oh my God, what are we going to do, right? But it's not the end of it. So this is why. Before I get into the details as to why maybe this ban or this change is a good thing for us as business owners, is because when we start to think about TikTok, well, I want you to think back to the times when we had all the different platforms. Remember MySpace? Remember when we focused so much into that? Remember Vine? Remember even Snapchat? These were all platforms that were rising to the top and that we started to put so much focus in. But then as we saw, they started to go down, right? And of course, the user numbers, better yet, go down. The trend goes down. But did our business go down? Maybe a little bit, but the reason why I'm mentioning that is I want to connect that to the reason why this whole ban on TikTok may be a good thing for us. When we had that concentration risk in one platform, we literally put our focus in. And maybe for so many years, we focused on that, we only used that, and that made us almost complacent in that one platform. Now, when I think about being complacent, I always think of it in a not so positive light because that means that we're just stuck and steady into one piece of platform or in one steady thing, one piece of thing, which as business owners, we know we should never be complacent because business always changes. And there's so many things, whether it's internal issues, external environments that affect the business. But as business owners, guess what we do? We got to be resilient. We got to be relentless. And we got to find ways to make our business continue and thrive even when that one piece that was so important to us is no longer there. Hence, in today's video, that is TikTok. But that's going to be okay. Now again, don't hate me for saying this and this very unpopular opinion, but the ban of TikTok is a good thing. Think of it as 3 reasons why it's a good thing for us. Number 1, it's going to help us rediscover our entrepreneurial spirit. That means we're no longer just sticking to one thing. We got to start opening our eyes into all the different possibilities that we have out there. The reality is, TikTok is only one platform in the grand scheme of everything. We still have Facebook. We still have Instagram. We have LinkedIn. More importantly, we have YouTube. These are all really good platforms that we can start to tap into and cross all of our promotional things into those different platforms. But let's take a bigger scope into things. We also have email marketing. Maybe it's time we start to tap into traditional marketing. because not one way is the only way, right? That sounds so confusing, but what I'm trying to say is there is not only one way to do things. There's so many different platforms, so many different ways, and more importantly, can you get out there and instead of hiding it behind a camera or behind a phone, can you go out there and actually talk to somebody about your products? Of course you can. And you should. That helps us bring out that entrepreneurial spirit. And you know what? I challenge you to actually go out there and stop hiding behind that camera or that phone and talk to people. Because as we build our businesses, it's so important for us to also build the relationship with the people that are supporting us, our clients, our customers. Number two, the reason why I think that this is so good is because it starts to unleash the creativity that we have. We're no longer used to just one way of things. Now that we got to explore all these different things, now we're tapping to a different type of creativity, because the type of creativity that you had on video form on TikTok may not be the only type of creativity that you have. Maybe you want to start talking to people. Maybe you want to start writing. Maybe you want to start, I don't know, creating that book or writing that short or being like having voiceovers or whatnot. I don't know. What I'm trying to get to is, as we build onto our entrepreneurial spirit, we're also finding creative ways, and that just unleashes the creativity that you have. And sometimes the creativity that you never even thought you had is now coming into light. Now, the third reason why I think this is good is because, again, I brought this up earlier, it breaks us out of that complacency. That's actually one of my pet peeves. I hate it when people just say like, oh, it's fine, or it is what it is, right? That means that you're just so stuck in whatever you're doing. And I think, especially as business owners, as entrepreneurs, it's so important for us to get out of being comfortable and going into that uncomfortable zone, right? And maybe for you, that uncomfortable zone is no longer having the camera in front of us, no longer having that phone. It's literally going out and talking to people. That's such a strange thing. And believe me when I say this to you, even the people who are out there and talking and so good public speaking and so good with networking, that's like me. I still have a really hard time with it. Yeah, you don't know that, but I really do. But it's important because we force ourselves out of that complacency. We force ourselves into doing something that is so uncomfortable, but it's actually going to make us even better as we continue to grow in this business, in the next business, and in any other businesses that we have. So, as you try to find alternative ways in growing your business outside of TikTok, I have four different things. I have four different things that I challenge you to do to try to get yourself and your business going and growing. So the first one is going to be diversify your social platforms. Again, I mentioned there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's YouTube, there is LinkedIn, Snapchat, and I'm sure there's so many other more that I don't even really tap into or really know. But you can look into all the different platforms. Maybe take a look at what they have and strategize on how you can cross promote your content. And the reason why that's so important is because we don't know, 5 years from now, another platform might go down, and we don't want to be concentrated into one platform like we were with TikTok. Let's explore all the different types. Next, this is something I have to remind myself actually, but we need to start building an email list. One of the podcasts that I listened to once said, like, every time we put our content out there, it is not ours, right? It's the content's own, it's that platform's own content, it's their own. We never really have ownership of it. But the one thing that we do have ownership of in a business is our relationships. And unfortunately, in this digital world, our relationships are built on that email list. So you really want to start building it up. And as I tell you this, I'm telling myself this as well, because this is something that I absolutely need to do too. So don't feel bad if you haven't done it. I'm doing it at the same time as you. Next, you want to invest in your brand. Now, as you try different things, yeah, you're going to spend a little bit, but that's an investment for you. And the last thing I challenge you in, and this is the biggest thing because it's really breaking out of that comfort zone, it's collaborate and network with other people. You just gotta get out there. Talk to someone. Just talk to someone. As entrepreneurs, we're so resilient. We have to be, right? There's never a time when we have 100% success. We're going to keep failing, but that failure is actually finding so many different ways to the success. And so I don't want you to be down and out and think my business is gone just because TikTok is banned. One thing I always remind myself, and I want to remind you, is that I am resilient, I am relentless, I can do this. Now let's do this. Let's do this. And if there's one last thing I can leave you with, losing TikTok is not the end of things. It's just a reminder for us business owners, entrepreneurs, to be innovative, to diversify, and more importantly, to be creative and just do it.